I had my family in town last weekend, Joe. My mom and my aunt.
Yeah, your aunt Jill, I believe.
Yeah, very good.
I would remember that.
You know. No, but we did a bunch of things, but we took a...
Jill is really an ant name, you know?
It really is. Like that or Linda.
Linda,
but,
right.
Yeah. But we took a sailboat ride.
Took a sailboat ride.
Around the Statue of Liberty, old Lady Liberty.
Lady Liberty.
The beautiful, beautiful angel.
Bit of an ant herself.
Yeah. And so it was pretty fun. It was a fun experience.
Have you ever sailed past the Statue of Liberty?
Not before. No, this was the first time.
This is the first time you got up
never
nice
been
and
on
closer.
a sailboat. I've been on a boat, but never.
Oh, this was like it had sails.
Yeah, the seamen, they had to hoist the sails.
They had the seamen up there,
and they had to hoist the sails. They said, "Avast ye matey,
yonder land there."
Yeah, no, but it was like kids straight out of high school doing all the sailing stuff.
Oh, really?
And then an older lady.
That'd be a good summer job.
It would be a summer job. It did look fun.
Nice summer job.
Yeah.
By the way, Statue of Liberty, gift from the French back in like the 1870s.
Sure.
Talk about an inconvenient gift. Probably came over in parts. Yeah, we had to put it together.
No, it did. Yeah, it came over in
we had
parts.
to put it together and stuff.
Had to find a place to put it.
Yeah. We could send you a fucking giant IKEA nightmare for you to put together.
You get it all in a box.
I want to see the Liberty as it originally was. Because it's not green. No. Copper.
Like a penny.
A nice orange copper.
Yeah.
But they go green.
They go green after a while if you leave it in the wash. You ever leave it like a penny
in the wash? Does it turn green?
Yeah. It loses color. But anyway... So we were on the sailboat. We were sitting. It was not a lot of people on the sailboat, but this older couple, probably in their late 60s, early 70s,
maybe recently retired,
retirees. They were kind of odd.
Really, in what way?
Well, it was an older couple, and this lady she sat down, and they didn't talk to us at first. But then we set sail. We took off, you know. and
the winds were in your favor?
Yeah, the winds were in our favor. Yeah, it was actually a pretty windy day. It was kind of scary at sometimes. But so we take off, and she asked her husband, the lady, she goes, "Now, excuse my ignorance, but is this Manhattan that we're looking at?"
Right.
'Cause it could get confusing. I understand
that.
Sure,
you know, they're probably not from here.
Yeah, well, I understand that. She could be confused with New Jersey.
Exactly.
It's either New Jersey or Manhattan.
There's skyscrapers everywhere.
Yeah. So he goes, "Yeah, I believe that's Manhattan." So then...
And you said, "Actually, excuse me."
I said, "Actually, it's New Jersey."
Yeah.
You dumb fuck. Yeah. No. So he was right. And then... She points and she goes, "And is that the Statue of Liberty?"
What'd you point to?
The Statue of Liberty.
It'd be so much funnier if she pointed to like Freedom Tower.
Right, yeah. No, but
how could you not know that the Statue of Liberty is the Statue of Liberty?
Get this. So then she starts talking to us, and she goes, "Where are you from?" And my mom and my aunt go, "Indiana." And they go, "Where are you from?" She goes, "Long Island." She's a fucking 90-minute drive away from the Statue.
She's 70 years old. She's lived on Long Island probably her whole life. And she has to point to the Statue of Liberty and go, "Is that the Statue of Liberty? What the fuck is that thing? What is that giant statue of that woman? Or is that a different statue of a woman?" Yeah. I know there's a lot of 300-foot statues.
She probably, you know what? She probably saw it when it was still copper.
Yeah. She didn't recognize. I thought this was bright orange. This is green. This is no Statue of Liberty. Yeah.
No Lady Liberty I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah. She's a fucking 90-minute drive away from the Statue of Liberty. She didn't know what it looked like.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was nuts. And then she kept dropping all of her shit. She dropped her cell phone and stuff.
God. If I was her husband, I would have thrown her overboard.
Kick it under the bench that we were sitting on. Not even
didn't pick it up.
No, didn't pick
what
it
a
up.
Fucking pig woman.
Yeah, she was a pig. I wanted to fucking throw her overboard.
They should have thrown her overboard. Was there a plank?
Plank.
They make her walk the plank.
I wish. That
would have been nice.
Yeah.
Now, was there a captain of the ship?
There was a captain of the ship. Actually, the man who built the ship.
Which beard was he? Yellow beard, perhaps? Red beard? White beard?
He was of white beard.
He had a white beard.
Yeah,
okay.
he
You
had
have to have a
beard.
colored beard.
The captain, he also built the ship, the sailboat.
See, I don't like that.
You don't like that?
I don't like that if I'm on it on the sea and the guy goes, by the way, I built this boat. Nope.
Yeah.
Not interested.
Yeah.
I want one manufactured by a team and a company with insurance and all kinds of stuff. Not
Well,
a guy.
I'm sure they have insurance, yeah.
Ah,
No, but it was well put
designed it.
together.
What do you know?
Well, I'm still here. That's all I know.
You go, sir, you did a great job with
I
it.
shook his hand. I go, fantastic voyage.
One of the best boats I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a level.
The best sailboat I've ever stepped foot on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What color were the sails?
White.
Oh, classic white.
Classic white.
Yeah, they didn't have skull and
They didn't know
crossbones.
skull and
Well,
crossbones.
a pirate ship.
That wasn't a pirate
If I
ship.
built a boat, I'd make it a pirate ship theme.
That would be fun.
That'd be really fun.
Yeah, super fun.
Well, Trent, you want to tell the folks at home
I'd love nothing more.
what this podcast is?
Well,
what it's all
ahoy.
about? It's not just about the Lady Liberty.
It's not just about Lady Liberty and pirates. This, if this is your first time listening, is the Echo Chamber podcast with Joe and Trent, the only podcast where two comedians read the Wall Street Journal because one of us
gets it for free from work.
And Joe, would you like to give us a little rundown of the stories we'll be covering today?
Well, Trent, speaking of Lady Liberty, Mexico has a bit of a new Lady Liberty of their own.
Oh.
Because they've elected the first female president.
I've heard about this.
Of Mexico.
I've
so
heard
we'll
about
hear
this.
a little bit about that. She's kind of a nice piece of ass.
You
She's-
know how I
she-
feel about the Hispanic
She's,
people.
she's 61 years old. She doesn't look a
Whoa.
day past 39.
No, she doesn't. She's
A real
beautiful.
nice piece of ass. I can see why they
Oh.
elected her. I think if Hillary was a nice piece of ass, she would have definitely
Yeah,
gotten in.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
if she was likable at all.
Yeah, well, the nice piece of ass part would have helped with that.
That's true. You're right. that was my misogyny speaking.
Never met a pretty lady that wasn't nice.
Couldn't fathom it. I couldn't. Speaking of world leaders, Kim Jong Un did something very nasty to South Korea.
Oh, did he?
Yes,
He's
he
always
did.
cooking up nasty
He
things
is.
to do
This
to
is
South
pretty
Korea.
wild. It's like a
wow.
high school prank almost.
Well, move over Pepsi. There's a new second most popular soda in town.
Really?
That's no longer the number 2 to Coke.
Pepsi's fallen.
Pepsi's fallen. We'll
Wow.
find out to who.
Oh boy.
You can guess.
Oh wow. Well, Joe, you're a bit of you consider yourself a bit of a history buff.
I'm a bit of a buff guy. Yeah, I mean,
Are
I
you
think I'm
familiar with Thaddeus Kosciuszko?
buff. Of course. No, I'm not. I don't know who that is. Who's that?
He's got a national park, the tiniest national park in the land. And
Oh, okay, we'll have to visit.
Yeah, it's in Philadelphia. It's not
Be
too
a
far
quick,
from
quick
me.
visit. Yeah. Well, take everything you do about bandages, throw that out the window.
Done.
There's a new bandage in town.
Ah.
Get ready for the bandage of the future. Smart bandages.
Oh, fuck.
That we can talk to our doctors on.
Jesus Christ, fuck off. I like the old bandage.
The old bandage just wasn't getting the job done. I need to have a direct line of contact with my doctor inside of my bandage.
I would like to strap a tracking device onto myself.
Yeah, exactly.
And Joe, here's something you like as well. You love tennis. You like tennis.
I like to play tennis.
You like tennis and you like drinking.
I do, and I
Well,
think
the
that
French-
shows in my body.
The French Open, no more alcohol. It's done. They've banned alcohol sales.
To be honest, I can't imagine that it was a huge part of the French Open to begin
Well-
with, but maybe it was.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. But our first story, Trent, before
Yes.
we find any of that out, we're going to take a little voyage to the land to the south of the border.
Oh,
Famous Mexico.
yes.
Where they have elected, and I'm actually shocked that they did this before we did, but
Yeah.
maybe not. I don't know. It seemed like they would be the last country to elect a female president.
You think
You
so?
think of Mexico as kind of like a macho type place.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe not. Mexico elects first female president. Dateline Mexico City. This is, by the way, from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Claudia Sheinbaum won a landslide. Not just a victory.
Doesn't sound like a Mexican name.
Well, you'll find out why. She won a landslide victory to become Mexico's first female president and the nation's first Jewish head of state. Female Jew. What did the country want somebody to flag the waiter?
Jesus Christ.
That's pretty good.
I liked it.
That's pretty good. in an election that cemented the ruling party's majority and paved the way for constitutional changes that risk weakening the country's democracy. But we won't worry about that. Mexico's peso slid more than 4% on Monday. You know, you make a woman president,
The peso slides.
the peso goes.
Well, the wage gap, I think, probably has something to do with it.
Probably the wage gap. Yeah, that could have something to do with it. It's to adjust to the new president.
Yes.
Yeah. Sheinbaum, a former Mexico City mayor and the candidate of the Morena party, which is the party already in power. But here's what I didn't know about Mexican politics. One term. Presidents, they only have one term.
Oh, really?
So the guy in power, very popular.
Yeah.
But can't run again.
Oh, interesting.
So she ran on the same party.
Yeah.
Won landslide victory.
Yeah.
On the heels of his success there.
Okay, I kind of like that.
And and now with all their power, they're gonna change the constitution to kind of get some of these democracy parts out of it.
Really?
Yeah, she might be a
Well, it
hot piece
seems
of
to be that most countries now are turning their back on democracy.
democracy. Really apexed in like '95.
Yeah.
Yeah. We thought we won the Cold War.
Yeah.
Democracy ruled the land.
Yeah.
Take everything you knew about that, throw that out the
It's
window.
blasé now. Democracy.
blasé.
Yeah.
It's gone the way of disco.
Yeah.
Her margin of about 30 points would be the largest in a presidential vote since 1982's election, when Mexico still was a single-party state. Pre-election polls gave her a 20-point lead.
Wow.
That's right. Well, the huge scale of the victory came as a surprise in a country that neighbors the U.S. and is a major economic partner. Mexico is a leading source of imports to the U.S., but also a source of illegal immigration and drugs. But some of them are very good people.
Yeah.
The U.S. will be looking to Sheinbaum for cooperation in stemming the flow of migrants and to tackle the fentanyl crisis, said Duncan Wood, a senior advisor to the Wilson Center, a Washington think tank.
Bullshit think tank.
Bullshit think tank. What does a think tank do?
I don't know. They don't do
Well,
it. They don't do
you don't
jack
need a
shit.
think tank for a guy to say, yeah, we want them to stop the flow of fentanyl into the U.S. and enough with the migrants.
Yeah, we've been thinking maybe we should put a
you know
stop
what? We
to
put
that.
a think tank together, and we realized that the border situation is a little,
It's a little wonky.
little wonky, a little out of control.
Yeah.
After lowering homicide rates in Mexico City by half,
Really?
Sheinbaum has pledged to replicate such results across Mexico.
She was going to crack down on the cartels.
Crack down on the murder and the rape and the pillage.
Yes.
Across Mexico, which is plagued by killings,
Yes.
forced disappearances, and massive extortion by more than 200 organized crime gangs.
Yes.
She better be careful. I mean, these guys.
That could be dangerous.
The results also transform an election widely seen as a referendum on departing President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador's policies
very good, Joe.
into an unexpected opportunity to pass a set of proposed constitutional changes that would spell the biggest overhaul to Mexico's political system since it became a democracy in 2000. By the way, I didn't realize it only became a democracy in 2000.
I didn't either.
It's basically like an autocracy before that or something.
Wow.
Yeah. Proposed initiatives include following for the direct election of judges, slimming down Congress, and getting rid of autonomous election agency. It would also boost
What
the
does that
role
mean?
of autonomous election agency, probably somebody overseeing the elections.
Oh.
It would also boost the role of the government in the energy sector. So, yeah. So they got a nice, attractive, young 61-year-old lady.
And that's really what's the most
and
important
she's
part.
going to get rid of democracy, and we're all we're all rooting for it. So, yeah.
Wow.
That's all
Have
you
you
know.
ever seen, this doesn't really have anything to do with this, but have you ever seen the video? I wish I could remember his name, but he's a very popular...
Two girls, one cup.
Yeah. No, he was a very popular Mexican singer.
Ah.
And he's on stage one time and somebody passes him a note from the cartel that says, after the show, we're going to kill you.
Really?
Yeah, and he looks at it because he was like very outspoken against the cartels. He
yeah.
looks at it and he like takes a big he swallows
Yeah.
like a scared
Like a
swallow.
gulp?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a gulp. And then he just keeps playing.
He keeps playing?
And then he was murdered
Okay.
after.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
That must have been... What's your
Could
last
you imagine
song?
if you were doing stand-up?
We're going to chop your fucking head off after. What do you close with? Because you're truly closing this time.
Yeah.
What does he sing? What's the song that's going to sum up his whole life? Did he sing My Way by Frank Sinatra? When they chopped off his fucking head?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But it's if you
Imagine
look
singing-
up the video, it's very
Imagine you got one
fascinating.
song to sing and you go with Crocodile Rock.
Crocodile Rock.
Chop your head off. I wonder
Yeah,
what he
you
said-
gotta pick up
gotta
a meaningful
pick a
song.
good song.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants. I would
Yeah.
probably panic and just sing like "Tonight
And
We Are
the
Young."
rest of the band has to know it. You know.
Well, I like that they played the song. It kind of reminds me of the band on the Titanic. They basically
Yeah.
have the same note from the captain. Hey, we're going down.
Right. But the show
Enjoy
must
the rest
go on.
of your set. The show must go on.
Yeah.
Also, doesn't need to go on. I would run for the lifeboats.
Yeah, yeah.
But I guess
would,
the show needs to go on.
I would try to trade outfits with somebody.
It's something.
Yeah.
Something's got to give.
Well, Joe, this is from the Wall Street Journal. Headline: Kim to South. You're number 2.
That's not very nice.
No, it's not very nice.
Is that the mean thing you did?
No, well, that's sort of a pun, really. I don't think you really said that.
Oh, it's a pun.
Yeah. Pyongyang regime floats waste-filled balloons in response to leaflet campaign. Dateline: Seoul. An unusual sight drifted into South Korean skies on Wednesday. Large white balloons carrying plastic bags of North Korean trash. Some contain something even more vile.
Poo?
Yeah. The air
Wow.
deliveries from North Korea were detected the prior evening. Seoul's military said, triggering emergency warnings at about 11:30 to border town residents to avoid going outdoors because of suspicious objects floating in the sky.
Wow. Spy balloons. Trash balloons.
A total of about 260 balloons were found scattered across the country, roughly the geographic size of Indiana.
Why do they always... They need to compare it to a state for us.
Yeah.
We don't need the... what does that do? That doesn't help me understand the story at
Yeah. Also, if I wasn't from Indiana, I would have no idea the size of Indiana.
Yeah, most people don't know what size...
Couldn't even pick it out on a map.
yeah, no idea.
Yeah. Some journeyed more than 180 miles. One landed gently on a street.
Now, sorry,
go ahead.
before you go on, here's what I... they're balloons, right?
That's what they look like.
How do you make them go south? Do you wait for the winds to come in your favor?
Yeah, well, they stick their finger in their
They
mouth.
wait and they go, okay, release the balloons. And they go.
Yeah.
Because you can't, make them go a direction, can you? They only go up and down, kind of float.
Yeah. And Joe, you know this about me. I'm no balloon expert, and I never claimed to be. So
I didn't know if they got into it. I didn't know if maybe they
No,
explained.
I don't think they get into it.
All right,
But I would assume
so
that they wait for the
wait
wind.
for the trade winds.
The trade winds. Yes. So, the pair of balloons and a clear plastic. Oh, I'm sorry.
Trent?
Yes. Some journeyed more than 180 miles. One landed gently on a street. The pair of balloons and a clear plastic bag left intact. Another crashed through the greenhouse roof of a local grape farmer. Many others broke apart and spilled their contents onto sidewalks and streets. Shreds of pink, blue, and white paper, an empty laundry detergent bag, and dark clumps that look like excrement.
So is this an act of war or just more of like a prank?
It's a hazing.
It's kind of hazing. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of a prank. Like a
Well, they did
practical
it in
joke.
retaliation. We'll get into it in a second. They did it into retaliation of
Right,
something.
because didn't South Korea, they sent
They
leaflets?
sent leaflets and USB drives containing K-pop songs.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I think this is pretty funny. It's like, okay, you're going to send us K-pop, we're going to send you fucking bags of shit.
Ask what the bags contain. South Korea's defense ministry offered up only, quote, amul, which in Korean can mean trash or excrement.
Just bile and shit.
Yeah. There is no doubt the sender was Kim Jong Un's regime, which days earlier had vowed in state media to heap mounds of waste paper and filth onto South Korea.
Wow. Oh, they vowed to
They
do it?
vowed to do it, and they did. So, on
Slipped them a note.
Yeah. On Wednesday evening, North Korea took full credit for inducing the messy madness.
We did it.
In a statement issued by Kim Yo-jong, the dictator's younger sister and regime mouthpiece, she expressed bafflement.
Yeah, I heard she's got a great mouthpiece.
She expressed bafflement over South Korea's assertions the balloons had violated international law, suggesting they be received as sincere presents. Quote, I cannot understand why they're making a fuss as if they were hit by a shower of bullets, she said.
Oh,
So,
quite the mouthpiece.
yeah, she's the mouthpiece.
She's got a fucking maybe cool the mouthpiece a little bit.
Yeah, mouthy. She's sarcastic.
You know, got a mouthpiece. New
Who's that?
president of Mexico.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Shine bomb. Pyongyang had been clamoring for retribution following its own unwelcome arrival of a swarm of balloons that was filled with leaflets, anti-regime leaflets.
Right. And K-pop.
Yeah. Kim, the 40-year-old dictator, has sought to crack down on foreign media consumption since glimpses of the outside world threatened to show his people how poor life is in North Korea.
He's only 40?
Yeah, he looks like shit.
He has gout.
He's gout, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You didn't know about his gout?
No, I hadn't heard about his
So
gout.
it's the rich man's disease.
It's rich man's disease.
Not walking around eating cheese. Gout.
Yeah.
40
Wow.
years old. So, wow. And he's been in power for a minute, too.
A while, yeah.
Since like 07 or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So he dumps shit and trash on South Korea.
I honestly don't hate it. I think it's kind of funny.
It is, yeah.
It's kind of funny. Mm-hmm. But you know what's not funny? What's happening in the soda pop wars right now.
Oh, God.
This is serious stuff.
No.
That's an innocent practical joke between two geopolitical neighbors. But this is what really matters.
This is the strong
This is from the
stuff,
Wall
yeah.
Street Journal. Steady climber Dr. Pepper ties Pepsi as America's number 2 soda.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper is a new number 2.
Really? Who saw that coming?
No one. No one saw it coming.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. There's a new contender in the cola wars, and it isn't cola. It's Dr. Pepper. It's 139-year-old. The 139-year-old soda brand is now tied with Pepsi Cola as the number 2 carbonated soft drink brand in America, behind Coke. The regular version of Pepsi and Dr. Pepper are neck and neck in a spot that Pepsi has held nearly every year for 4 decades, according to sales volume data from Beverage Digest.
Wow.
Bullshit Digest. Dr. Pepper's new ranking follows a steady climb over the past 20 years. Its ascent is a product of big marketing investments, novel flavors, and a quirk that Dr. Pepper's distribution that put it on the soda fountains more than any other soft drink in the U.S.
Really?
Yeah, we'll get into that. It's actually kind of interesting. At the same time, consumption of regular Pepsi has fallen as its drinkers switch to Pepsi Zero Sugar or migrate to other drinks.
I'll never drink a zero.
Well, no one, everybody, Pepsi's been foisted on us. We never wanted it the way that they think we wanted it. Every time you go, we all have a Coke. Is Pepsi okay? I fucking guess.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you heard
Not
that
really,
your
but-
whole life?
A bunch, yeah.
A bunch. So
Yeah.
half the reason they're even number 2 is because they got all these deals with all these places.
Right.
And then we're stuck with it.
Yeah, nobody's ever, in any restaurant, nobody's ever said, can I get a Pepsi?
I would fall out of my seat.
No, you'd have a heart attack. The waiter
What's wrong
would
with
have a
you?
heart attack, yeah.
The waiter, I guess, he would be so used to saying, is Pepsi all right?
Yeah.
You might just say that anyway. He'd say, was Pepsi all right?
Right, yeah.
You go, yeah, that's what I
Wow.
ordered. You go,
Right.
I don't understand. We only have Pepsi. Well, the overall Pepsi brand, including Diet Pepsi and Pepsi Zero Sugar, remains the number 2 soda trademark in the U.S., though its market share has been slipping. Coke has more than twice the market share by volume than any of its rivals. I mean, Coke is smashing these guys. Dr. Pepper is one of the oldest soda brands in the U.S., older than Coca-Cola or Pepsi.
Yeah.
It was invented in 1885 by Charles Alderton.
Sure. Yeah,
A pharmacist and soda fountain operator. That's when your pharmacist was a soda pop scientist as well.
Right.
Back in the 1880s,
Yeah.
the guy who sold you your drugs was like, yeah, here's the cocaine and Oxycontin, but you should really get a load of what I'm doing back here with the soda fountain.
I've got 23 flavors.
I'm a fucking mad scientist. I got crazy fucking shit going on. It was mostly about creating soda pop back then.
Well, they also, there was like a thing to help digestion. They would do a hot Dr. Pepper. They would heat it up on the stove.
Oh, I like it cold, hot, however you want to give it to me. Load me up.
Yeah. Fill me the fuck up.
Oh, load me the fuck up. Yeah. Strap my mouth open. He was a pharmacist and soda fountain operator who wanted a drink that evoked the aroma of the drugstore where he worked in Waco, Texas.
Oh, wow.
His syrup combined...
I'm just a wacko from Waco.
He's a wacko from Waco. Combined 23 flavors, including cherry and vanilla, with other fruits and spices. Coca-Cola was invented a year later, and that's suspicious, followed by Pepsi-Cola in the 1890s.
Wow.
Well, Coca-Cola...
Joe, what's your favorite soda pop?
It's tough. I think a good old-fashioned Coca-Cola probably is...
Sure.
I do like a Dr. Pepper, though. Once in a blue moon.
Not bad, yeah.
Once in a blue moon, I like a
like a
Dr.
nice-
Pepper. I think I like it more than Pepsi.
I like a nice 7-Up.
Coke's been the most popular fountain drink, while Dr. Pepper retained a stronghold in the South. The Cola Wars began in the 1960s.
The South, they do crazy shit with all their... They put peanuts in Coke. You ever heard of that?
Yeah, I guess I have. The salt. They like sweet things down there.
They're all fucked up down there.
Yeah, it's a fucked up part of the world. Really fucked up. But they... the Cola Wars began in the 60s when PepsiCo launched its Pepsi Generation campaign. It cast Pepsi as a hip, upstart cola for young people.
Sure.
And Coke is old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Pepsi didn't catch Coke, but it reached a close second and has held the number 2 spot since 1985.
Wow. When
Yeah.
Michael Jackson did the famous commercial where his hair caught on fire.
That's right. That's right.
Really turned it all around.
Liar, liar, hair on fire. I didn't sleep with those kids. And the $97 billion U.S. soft drink market is largely organized into red and blue camps, Trent, representing the packaging colors of Coke and Pepsi. Each has its own distribution network, and each competes for national restaurant chains like McDonald's and Wendy's.
Sure.
But Dr. Pepper, which is owned by Keurig Dr. Pepper, has alliances with both sides.
I didn't know that.
That's why when you go to places, often there will also be Dr. Pepper on the menu.
Yes.
But there's never Pepsi and Coke.
Right. Yeah.
So that's allowed them to kind of get in everywhere.
Wow.
So
They're weasels. They're little weasels.
They're weasels. They love the freaks from the South. They're weasels. That ubiquity has helped introduce Dr. Pepper to more people.
Sure.
And that, along with their new flavors and experimentation in flavors, has also proven popular among Hispanic consumers, growing demographic in the U.S.
Wow.
On TikTok, viral videos show young people filling Stanley Quencher cups with ice and Dr. Pepper. Well, that sounds like a fascinating video. I could watch that for hours. Someone filling up a Stanley with ice and Dr. Pepper? Oh, what a video.
Well, fuck my ass in hell.
They also show such concoctions as Dr. Pepper with pickles.
Ugh.
And the dirty Dr. Pepper, a mix of Dr. Pepper, lime juice, and coconut-flavored coffee creamer. It sounds disgusting. With liqueur as an option. The brand riffed on this with a canned non-alcoholic version, Dr. Pepper Creamy Coconut. Now this is
Pepper Creamy.
Now this is
one Dr. Pepper Creamy Coconut, please.
they
Shoot myself in the
mace
head.
you. Daryl Allen, a 41-year-old blogger in Seattle.
Oh my God.
Tell me which. Every word gets worse than the one before it in that sentence. Who likes to experiment with Dr. Pepper? It keeps getting worse.
What's he
Daryl, a
do?
41-year-old blogger in Seattle.
Sick fuck it up, dude.
Here's what he did. He recently created what he calls the Dr. Pepperoncini, a glass of soda with 3 hot peppers.
Ugh.
Quote, "It was not as good as the dill pickle one," he said.
Jesus Christ.
A Dr. Pepper fan since childhood, Allen says he loves the pleasantly medicinal flavor and counterculture vibe. What the Counterculture vibe is hysterical. To talk about a massively
Dr.
commercially
Pepper's been around
distributed
forever.
soda.
Yeah. Oh,
It's so counterculture. Yeah.
Look at this rebel.
Yeah, it's a maverick.
Dr. Pepper.
When told that Dr. Pepper is now tied with Pepsi as America's second biggest brand, he replied with an expletive. "That's awesome," he said. "It's such an underdog story."
Underdog has lost all meaning.
Underdogs lost all meaning. Yeah. You know what else has lost? Trauma has lost all meaning.
Trauma.
I heard a comic last night describe dating apps as traumatic, and I go, trauma's lost all meaning.
Yeah.
It used to mean something.
Yeah. Oh my
was
God.
not.
Yeah, you step
Underdog.
outside and you're traumatized.
Yeah, my favorite underdogs would probably be Rocky,
Right.
and then Dr. Pepper, and then maybe Jimmy Carter when he became president. The dark horse candidate. Yeah, I go Jimmy, Rocky, and Dr. Pepper. My 3 big underdogs.
Biggest underdogs. Fucking soda's
Maybe
been around.
David from David and Goliath. Yeah, I don't know how they did it. Yeah.
Mr. Pibb. Now there's a fucking underdog.
Yeah, that's a fucking underdog. Talk about redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm a lot like Dr. Pepper, but I'm gonna have more of a pipsqueak voice.
Well, that's fascinating, Joe.
That's
We're
right.
rooting for Dr. Pepper. We love Dr. Pepper.
We love Dr. Pepper. They're welcome here anytime. And
Friend of the show, welcome anytime. But speaking of underdogs, this is a story about the smallest national park. Yes.
yeah.
Headline. This is from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh.
Tiniest national park has hugely unpronounceable name.
Really?
Yeah. Let the crowds have Yellowstone. Real adventurers explore this brick edifice. Dateline, Philadelphia.
Now, what's the name?
He is the Revolutionary War hero you've quite possibly never heard of. The transatlantic freedom fighter whose name you probably can't pronounce.
He's trans.
We're talking about Thaddeus Kosciuszko.
Sounds like not at all an annoying person. Oh, God, Thaddeus is here.
Yeah, well, at the national park is 0.02 acres. It's the tiniest of more than 400 units in the National Park
like the size of
Service
our
empire, including parks, monuments, and battlefields. Yeah. As travelers swarm rock star parks such as Yellowstone this summer, a relative few will venture inside the brick edifice that served as an extended stay hotel for a man endorsed by Benjamin Franklin, backed by George Washington, extolled by Thomas Jefferson, and jailed by Catherine the Great.
Endorsed, jailed,
And extolled.
And extolled.
He
He's
did
got it
everything.
all.
Yeah. And nobody's ever heard of him.
And no one's ever heard of him. How many? Now, what is a brick edifice?
I think it's just like a brick building.
So it's not even. It's a building.
Well, it used to be a hotel, but now
How's
it's
it a park?
It's just dedicated to this guy. They got stuff about him.
Well, it can't be a park. It's not a park.
Yeah,
not
I don't know. I think, yeah, but you think a park outside.
I guess I don't know what an underdog is. I don't know what a park is. I guess
Everything you know about a park, throw that out the window.
there's a new park in town.
There's a new park
It's
in
small
town.
and it looks a lot like a
And
building.
it's named for Thaddeus as Kosciuszko.
yeah.
And nobody could say his fucking name.
No one can say his name.
Yeah, I think it's just like a national monument, but they call it
Monument.
a park.
Wow.
But I don't know. So anyway, the good news is that you're probably not going to be jostling with many other tourists, at least according to Yelp reviews, which include, quote, half an hour felt like enough time.
Wow.
And who the hell is Thaddeus Kosciuszko?
All right. The more you know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So-
Well, I'll have to check that out. If I
Well,
have
hold
a-
on, we're not finished yet.
Oh, it's a whole article. Okay, sorry. I can't imagine what else there could be to say. Sorry, I didn't know there was 11 more paragraphs.
They talk a little bit. They explain who this guy is.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
But this is a quote from a 10-year-old that went to the national park.
Okay, great.
One of her favorite fun fact about Thaddeus Kosciuszko, he gave Thomas Jefferson the fur trim coat he got from the Russian Tsar. So he regifted a coat to Thomas Jefferson.
He's famous for regifting a coat. He's a national hero. He regifted the coat.
He regifted the coat, but he got the
Transatlantic
coat.
hero.
Yeah. You won't find the coat, but you won't find the coat there.
Oh, it's been lost to time.
It's been lost in time.
It's been lost to time. So
But a replica of Kosciuszko's bedchamber has copies of artifacts such as the combination peace pipe tomahawk
oh, he's a bit
that
of a hippie.
Chief Little Turtle of the Miami Field gave him. A combination peace pipe tomahawk. Isn't that interesting?
He's got a lot of gifts from different guys.
Yeah, but it's also, that sounds like something a dumb stoner would buy at Hot Topic now. Yeah, it's a bong, but it's also a tomahawk.
Yeah, it does both.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So it's actually pretty cool.
it's actually really cool. Yeah, it can get you high, but it also can shapeshift into a tomahawk. It's cool. It sounds like this guy had a lot of cool trinkets and things.
He did a lot of stuff.
Coats and tomahawks and pipes.
Well, there's Boston, Chicago, and other cities have Kosciuszko statues. New York City has the Kosciuszko Bridge.
Oh, that Kosciuszko.
Yeah. There's a
There's a Kosciuszko stop on the J train.
Yeah, there's a Kosciuszko, Mississippi, and a Kosciuszko, Indiana, which I didn't know. There's Kosciuszko brand mustard, all things named after Thaddeus. So is Australia's tallest mountain.
Now, what did he do besides receive 2 gifts?
Well, he got gifts. No. Here's, if he had a highlight reel, it would go like this.
Okay.
He was born in 1746. He studied engineering and military strategy.
Pretty good.
He sailed to America in 1776.
From where? England?
After an ill-fated bid to marry a noblewoman.
Yep. Sometimes you strike out, brother.
Yeah. In Philadelphia, he impressed Franklin and became a colonel in the Continental Army. In 1777, defenses he devised in Saratoga helped the Patriots defeat the British. supported by General Washington, who spelled Kosciuszko's name 11 different ways before getting it right. He masterfully fortified West Point. He later fought in the Carolinas, taking a bayonet to the buttocks.
Now, where's he from? Poland? What is Kosciuszko? Polish?
I believe, yeah. He's
Polish.
Polish. He's a dirty Polak. And,
He's a dirty, filthy Polak. And he regifts. He's a regifter.
He's a regifter. He's a fucking filthy regifter. He got stabbed in the ass.
Yeah, how about you got to get a present for the present for the president of the United States? Maybe put a little more thought into it.
Well, we'll get into where he got the coat from, which is even crazier to regift.
Really?
Yes. He returned to Europe after the war and led Polish peasants in a failed revolt against Russian domination. Imprisoned by Catherine the Great, he was later freed by her son.
Catherine the Great?
I don't know. He was later freed by her son, gifted the fur-trimmed coat, and recrossed the Atlantic. So he got the coat from this Catherine the Great's son, and he goes, fuck it. Yeah. Give it to old Tom Jefferson.
Give it to Tom.
He sailed, let's see. Back in Philly, he crashed at 3rd and Pine, now the memorial site, for 5 months starting in 1797. He grew close to then Vice President Jefferson, who dubbed him as pure a son of liberty as I have ever known.
They have great things to say about him. I still don't really know what he did, really, besides get a coat.
Well, here's why, Joe.
Okay.
If his name was Smith or Jones, who would be in all the history books, people just can't pronounce his name.
So he's lost time.
He lost the time.
But he was a hero.
He was a hero, and everybody who we know, he was like...
Paul Revere.
Yeah, he's a comedian's comedian.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you're Washington, in the Jefferson, they all love him. They all influence him.
They go, who's your guy?
Yeah, because Kosciuszko.
Yeah.
But he's lost the time because nobody could say his fucking name.
He's lost the time.
We're idiots.
That's why you always have to change your name for showbiz.
Yeah, and the national park, it's not doing well. It was once open daily. It now operates on weekend afternoons. Last year it had 2,000 visitors.
That's really low.
Half as many as 20 years ago. So
Legoland would do 2,000 on a Saturday. That's really bad. That's crazy. Well, Trent.
So it just goes to show you can do all this shit. What if nobody can say your name? You're fucked. You'll be lost to time. So why bother?
Why bother? It's hard to leave something they'll remember you by when all you did was regift a coat and you got jailed. Well, I have no natural segue for this, but this is from the Wall Street Journal.
Sure.
Bandages of the future will talk to your doctor.
Great.
That's right. A new generation of smart bandages that could allow doctors to remotely monitor wounds, decrease scarring, and speed up healing with a zap of light or electricity is on the way. These high-tech bandages could eventually replace today's usually simple constructions of gauze and plastic or latex, which apparently weren't getting the job done, which can't... Well, see, the problem is they can't detect anything about the wound. All they do is mend it.
Yeah. All they do is the thing they're supposed to do.
Yeah. So they're not... It's just not enough.
It's just not enough.
It's not enough. And
I need to know what the wound is.
I want to have a tablet connected to it with a picture of my doctor's face on it, so you can look at it like this. Well, those kids, they can't detect anything, and they don't do much more than apply pressure.
What do they need to detect?
Well, if something gets infected,
it's a knife wound.
If it's covered in a cast and you're infected, you may not know.
Sure.
So now this way, we put a few smart chips in there.
Yeah.
And no one would use those to track us or do anything strange.
Right. There's no way to tell if a wound's infected. It doesn't grow pus and shit.
Yeah.
You can't tell by eyesight.
Well, not when it's covered up.
I guess you're right. Sure.
We need a smart gauze.
Sure.
It's a smart gauze, Trent.
All right. You're right.
Admit it. Admit it. We need smart gauze.
All right. I admit it. Are you happy?
Yeah. Quote, we are kind of practicing medieval medicine in wound care. It's a lot of, I don't know what these words mean, poultices and salves.
Salves. That's like a cream you put on.
Said Jeffrey Gertner.
Fuck you.
Chairman of the surgery department, department, at the University of Arizona. Give me a fucking break. What, number one party college in the U.S. Yeah. Who's this guy? He's probably hammered. Quote, there hasn't been a lot of innovation. So we're just
Why do we need to? This is so annoying to me.
we have to innovate, Trent.
No, it's fine.
We have to get more. There's no chips. In
There's no
anything.
chips. Yeah, it's fine.
Is there like a chip shortage?
There's
like
that's why used cars cost more than they were bought new.
There's a chip
2 years
shortage,
ago.
and yet at the same time, we're like, what if we put chips in? What if we put them in lights, in the refrigerator, in chairs, in casts?
Yeah.
Like, we need them in our everywhere. Everything needs a chip.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they go, we got 12 chips left. What do you want to use them for?
Well, bandages.
Bandages and glasses.
Yeah,
I need
glasses,
a chip in my
you need
glasses so they're like Ray-Bans so I
Yeah.
can play music.
You need to charge everything. Hold on. I have to charge my bandage now.
Yeah. You will have to charge it. The battery life is not going to be great to start with.
Yeah.
So, and when it's not charged, it pops off.
It actually makes the infection worse.
Yeah, it makes the infection worse. It puts poison in it. Well, now smart bandage prototypes fill display halls at medical conferences, some of the most exciting conferences in the U.S.
Jesus Christ.
Many contain small electronics that can detect how a wound is healing and wirelessly transmit the information to a doctor. Because doctors famously have so much time on their hands.
Yeah. Easy to get a hold of.
Easy to get a hold of. Some enable the doctor to remotely dispense treatments, which they'll definitely do, and they won't be too busy for.
Right. Yeah, I can just picture the doctor now. Hold on, let me check on my patient's bandage.
Yeah, just randomly throughout the day, I tap for the doctor to administer something.
Stupid. This is the dumbest idea I've ever heard.
Okay, so I guess you want to keep medical care in the medieval times. We're basically bloodletting right now. Such technical sophistication likely wouldn't be necessary for a simple cut or scrape, but could be life-saving for severe wounds treated in the hospital or chronic wounds cared for at home.
Okay.
Well, researchers at the University of Pennsylvania and Rutgers University are testing a bandage in mice and rats that can detect infection and then deliver electrotherapy, a zap of electricity to help. So not only is it going to talk to your doctor, but also it's going to electrocute you.
Shock you.
It's going to shock you randomly throughout the day.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Well, that helps, they said.
Yeah.
So
No, that helps.
some studies have shown that electrical stimulation can increase the migration of immune cells to kill germs and remove dead cells at the wound site. And randomized clinical trials have indicated that electrical stimulation can improve wound healing. They envision bandages sending reports via cell phone apps.
Gee, another fucking app.
Another app. As an engineer. And administering small electronic shocks throughout the day.
Doesn't the body already do all this itself? And if it's not doing that, I'm sorry. You're done. Your time is up.
Yeah, no, I mean, here's my thing. Because the body will heal itself.
Yes.
You cast, you got a wound.
Yeah.
If it's so bad that, why am I just in a cast in my house? If it's so bad that it might turn south and kill me,
Yeah.
then why am I walking around with a cast on? Shouldn't I be back in the hospital getting surgery?
Right. You would think so. Yeah.
Who are these people that got I mean, that's a gnarly wound.
Right.
Well, we'll just have to put Neosporin on it and let him walk.
We'll have to send him home
To send him home.
with the infected wound. But this is the thing. They don't want anybody to leave their house anymore.
No, they want to keep us at home. Don't go to the doctor. Don't go anywhere.
Don't go to work.
Buy this thing. Don't go to the gym. Do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't go to work. Don't leave. Stay
Do
there.
not
We'll
leave.
send everything to you.
Yeah.
We'll send you groceries. Everything.
Yeah. I don't know. Well,
You know what else they don't want you to do anymore?
what's that? Drink at the goddamn French Open.
The whole world's turning upside down. If I can't get shit faced at the French Open and say Nadal's a pussy, then what do I have left?
Right, exactly. Well, this is our final story, Joe. This is from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh.
Headline: French Open bans alcohol in stands to stop unruly fans.
Okay, I gotta.
World number one, Iga Swiatek, had just finished grinding out a 2-hour, 57-minute victory at the French Open on Wednesday when she decided to lodge a polite complaint. The crowd noise during points at Roland Garros, she said, had risen to unacceptable levels.
Wow.
This is
What is unacceptable in a tennis match? Like slightly loud?
slightly loud, I think.
People
Yeah. This
mutter.
is something I don't really understand about tennis. It's one of the golf is the other one. One of the only sports where the athletes expect no noise from the crowd.
Well, you have to be very highly concentrated.
Well, don't you have to be highly concentrated in basketball?
No, you're more in the flow, you know? It's more of a flow
Well, what about
thing.
when you're shooting free throws?
Oh, now that there should be quiet.
Everyone should be
It's the loudest they ever get.
Yeah, it's the loudest they ever get. So if you're an athlete, maybe learn to deal with a little crowd noise.
Here's what I think it is. I think tennis and golf are rich people sports.
Yes, and they expect quiet. It's absolute
quiet. But poor people, you can't. They're gonna scream.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we have. Everything else is for poor people, and tennis and golf are and cricket are for rich.
Sure, and they need to have something for themselves.
Then they need to do it quietly.
Yeah. What Swiatek had discovered was the same thing that generations of visitors have encountered on trips to the French capital. Parisians can be kind of rude. Quote, please, guys, Swiatek implored the supporters inside Philippe Chartier Stadium. If you can support us between the rallies, but not during, that would be amazing. Fuck off. I mean,
yeah, fuck off. I'm trying to enjoy the fucking game.
I paid a fucking...
How loud could they have been?
$300 for these seats. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
You tell me that guy can't fucking return a tennis ball while people are yelling stuff?
Right. Well, Swiatek isn't the only one who's noticed fans here behaving with more contempt than a cafe waiter.
That stinks.
Tournament director...
What a shit line.
Amélie Mauresmo responded to a spate of incidents by announcing on Thursday that the French Open would no longer allow patrons to have alcohol in the stands. Quote, any behavior that goes over the line will lead to an ejection.
You know what? Is it also about, like, because golf and tennis are like one-man sports?
Yeah.
So it's just one person.
Right.
Maybe that has something to do with it.
They can't, it's too much pressure.
It's too much pressure for the one person, so you got to be quiet.
Right.
Because everything else is a team sport.
Yeah.
Think about it. What else is a one-man, I guess, like track? But then you're just running, so you can be loud.
Yeah.
That helps to run.
That helps to run if you're loud.
Yeah, noise helps run.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I can't think of any other... But it is odd. I don't know.
I guess Rocket League.
Rocket League,
the Rocket League Olympics are coming up.
Now boxing, that's a one-man sport,
but people
they're
loud.
fucking crazy.
But they want the adrenaline to be going.
Adrenaline. But you'd think tennis, you would want the adrenaline as well. You're running back and forth the court.
Adrenaline, yeah, but like it has to be super concentration. Yeah. But I guess maybe boxing, you want to be concentrated as well. Yeah. Perhaps we could write an email to Logan Paul.
Less than 24 hours before Swiatek's plea, Belgium's David Goffin had plenty to say about how he'd been treated on court 14. Granted, he was facing France's Giovanni Pericard in front of a hometown crowd, but Goffin insisted that the booing, jeering, and constant heckling from some fans in the front row was over the line. Quote, I think this only happens in France, he added. At one point, Goffin said someone spat gum at him.
I love it. Here's what I'm saying. They keep it as is, and they go, well, you know, the French Open, that's a little bit different than Wimbledon.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to fucking muscle through it.
Yeah. It's like playing in snow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's fun. Yeah, the different elements.
Yeah.
You got to just let the French people be French. They're going to scream and piss on you and throw gum at you.
Spit gum at you, be fucking disgusting pigs.
They're big, rude pigs.
Yeah. It's no secret in the tennis world that the Grand Slam tournaments are rattier than they used to be. Nights at the U.S. Open and Australian Open now offer up a heady cocktail of long sessions and ample access to bars. The result usually ends up ringing in players' ears, which they love when it comes at appropriate moments. The rest of the time, such as a ball toss
serving,
or a close line call, it leads to stony glares toward the crowd and exasperated pleas from the chair umpire. Quote, please don't call the ball out during rallies, the umpire had to say at one point during Swiatek's match. We have line judges for that.
Fuck off.
People in the audience are out.
It's so boring to go to a sport event and sit there quietly.
Yeah, sit in silence.
You're supposed to...
Yeah, I might as well stay home and do the fucking crossword puzzle.
I'll bring that to the French Open so I could fucking occupy my time with something.
Yeah. I mean, I like the only tennis player. I mean, I know a few, but the only tennis player I really know is John McEnroe. He was fucking yelling and cussing and screaming, throwing his fucking tennis racket. That was fun. I like that.
Yeah, he's banging his tennis racket, and fucking the line judge girl.
Yeah,
he's smoking cigarettes and. What happened to those guys? Same with like Phil Mickelson and all those old golfers.
Yeah, John Daly.
Grip
it and rip it, motherfucker.
Yeah, grip it and rip it. When they talked to him about his pre-game ritual, he goes, "Oh, I have like 5-6 beers, smoke about a half pack of cigarettes.
Yeah,
I'll hit golf balls for like 20 minutes."
Right. Well, I think that's kind of the same in every sport now. The NFL. It's the no fun league, but there's people are too afraid of like being shamed online and stuff. You can't just be yourself. You have to be like the perfect person now.
Well, everything used to be a party, but now everything is like professional. So now you have like professional athletes who are like waking up at 6 a.m. and going to workouts and taking care of their bodies, have personal trainers.
Right.
Nobody had a personal trainer in the 70s.
No.
But
it was more fun. I personally think.
It was more fun. Well, when Jordan got into the NBA, like the Bulls team, they were like doing coke in the fucking locker room.
Like a Dennis Rodman.
And he was like, what the fuck's going on around here? You know? And so...
Dennis
different
Rodman
times. Everything used to be like a party back then. Yeah, it was
Dennis
fun.
Rodman missed the playoffs to go wrestle.
I want Larry Bird chugging a fucking Budweiser on halftime.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, I want Lynn Dawson sucking down a cig at halftime in Super Bowl IV.
Right. It's the same with like rock and roll. You can't trash your hotel.
What happened to rock and roll?
You can't trash. You can't throw a fucking TV out the window anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Now we have the National.
Yeah, we have the fucking National. We have the National, and our top comedy star is Ryan Reynolds. Fuck off.
Ryan Reynolds, best comedian in the country.
Yeah.
The National,
Give me
coolest
Bill
rock
Murray
band.
fucking doing coke.
And we got a fucking quiet tennis match.
Well, Swiatek's opponent, Naomi Osaka.
It's fascism.
It sucks. However, said
So it's come back.
Naomi Osaka, however, said she had no problem with the noise on Wednesday.
Good.
Then she added, but I'm also used to the New York crowd.
There you go.
Yeah.
That a girl, Naomi. Fucking rip him.
Grip it and rip it, baby.
And rip it, baby. Let's go.
Well, that's about it.
That's been another episode of Echo Chamber Podcast. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Tell us what you think. Tell a friend to listen.
Yeah.
And as always, this is Joe signing out.
And this is Trent signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.